It all started when I read a book entitled Everything You Know Is Wrong. And I've come to the conclusion that there are many things that we are doing wrong here in Toastmasters, not just in this club, but throughout all of Toastmasters and all of the world. And there are 3 items that I've boiled the multitude of things that we're doing wrong down to that I'll talk about today. And the first has to do with the fact that we at Toastmasters do not understand the meaning of the word idiom. Now, as Merriam-Webster says, an idiom is an utterly foolish or senseless person. Darn autocorrect. That's an idiot. An idiom is an expression whose meaning is not predictable from the usual meanings of its constituent elements, such as kick the bucket or hang one's head. An idiom is a set of words that don't mean what they say. And in fact, words evolve. Consider the word awesome. Awesome originally meant full of awe. Now it means like totally awesome. Think of fantastic. Fantastic originally meant it was absolutely unbelievable. And now fantastic is like totally awesome. But here in Toastmasters, we have a shibboleth about not saying turn over. We cannot turn over things. Why? Because we do not understand the meaning of the word idiom. To turn over means to relinquish control. So when we say, I want to turn the meeting over, we are not turning the meeting over physically. We are relinquishing control. There are so many other words that mean turn over, like turn over in your grave. To turn somebody over to the authorities. An apple turnover. Well, no, that's something else. So we're doing that wrong. Turnover is perfectly legitimate. The second thing. What is this thing called?
Lectern.
A lectern? This was brought to my attention when we were at the Black Bear Diner just a few days ago. And they have a lectern which they bring out. And I asked the maitre d', would you please bring out the lectern? And he said, huh? What's a lectern? It's that thing that's saying, oh, you mean the podium. The entire world except for the Toastmasters, and particularly the Naval Postgraduate School Toastmasters, knows that a podium, and according to Merriam-Webster, is both a raised platform as well as a slanted object meant to read from. So this is a lectern and it's a podium, a dessert topping and it's a floral wax. So we're doing that all wrong. That was a quote from Saturday Night Live, by the way, so attribution. Second, there's shibboleth, uhs and ums. There was a study in the Journal of Language and Social Psychology, and I have the reference in case you want to check me up on this, and the researchers looked into the use of ahs and ums and pregnant pauses. And they found, and I quote, that conscientious people used more discourse markers. That's what they call these. The possible explanation is that conscientious people are generally more thoughtful and aware of themselves and their surroundings. Thus, it is expected that the use of discourse markers like ahs, ums, and pauses may be used to measure the degree to which people have thoughts to express. Ooh. So instead of ringing the bell when we say ah, we should ring the bell when we don't say ah. And pregnant pauses can be a very valuable tool in giving a speech because it creates an aura of anticipation. The final shibboleth, the handshake. We shake each other's hands. A study has found that that is the most unhygienic thing that you can do. And it compared a handshake, a high five, and a fist bump, and found that a handshake is 5 times more effective at transmitting germs than a fist bump. Now, I researched some possible alternatives to the handshake. There is I found in the Congo there is something called the head bump. I think that might be a little bit iffy. In Europe, there's the kiss on the cheek. But that's a problem. Do you do two, or do you do three? And that's also kind of unhygienic as well. And then there's the Hollywood air kiss. I think that's a contender, but I think that we should, instead of using a handshake, do a fist bump. And so now I would like to turn the podium over to our Toastmaster.